How you doing, YouTube? Fizzor here, and I have not done one of these type of gameplay reviews in quite some time. The last time I did it was probably in a Halo game, maybe in 2013, which kind of leads me back to how we even got here anyways. I was going through YouTube comments, and Jeff Couret left me one 6 years ago because I had reviewed one of his buddies' games, and he was like, "Hey, that was awesome. Would you mind doing one for me?" And it was just one of the comments that I just must have missed, and here we are 6 years later. I commented back, and I was like, "Hey, are you still interested in this?" And he was like, "Yeah." So here we are. I have not watched the gameplay footage yet, and I have not set any time limit on how much time I'm going to spend going through this. So it's just kind of one of those things that if you're interested in listening to some gameplay analysis and the things I have to say, then hang out and watch. I don't really know what to expect here. I've never seen his gameplay before, and but I'm really excited to be able to give back and help or just like provide my own input on things. And obviously, anything that I say, take it with a grain of salt if you want, and you're allowed to make your own decisions in this world and play however you want to play. But as someone who's been in the competitive gaming space for near 20 years, this is just my visionary on what I'm seeing. Um, Another thing to be said is after spending some hours into Halo Infinite myself, the number one thing that I've discovered is that the maps are a little bit larger in size than what we're used to in competitive Halo, and what seems to be a big emphasis is it's about coordinated pushes with your team. So there's like excess space on the map, and it's really just about getting set up, getting ready, and then making the move forward when you both are ready to do so. Or there's a lot of pairs, there's a lot of 2-on-2 running. It's not like just like 4-man squad jump kind of thing. So a lot of stuff I'm going to be spending. And please bear with me. This theater mode, I have like no time spent in it, and I tried to clip a video for myself. It was a nightmare. So we're just gonna. I don't know. We're just, we're just going for it. I'm very very like grateful and humbled to be able to reach back out to someone that had left a comment so long ago and that they were still interested in hearing what I had to say. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to really give back to the people that actually cared about me back then. So and thanks. All right, here we go. Gonna jump into it a little bit. One of the things that I'll probably be focusing on is what you do on your spawns, and if I can navigate the controls well enough, I'd like to be able to jump out into the free mode camera and then also just like look at the overhead view of everything and then be able to kind of show that coordination that I was talking about and be able to display like in this moment because Jeff, I don't know how many people in this lobby are Jeff's friends, but I asked if he had any gameplay that had like him and his buddies playing together. It doesn't matter if they're like not a pro team. If it's just like somewhat of teamwork, it's a little bit easier to dissect because of how frequently you're going to see that it's really just about making coordinated pushes at certain times. Um, let's do this before we even break into the game, and this may speed up the process of what we are going to be seeing here. Let me see. I gotta get into the match. I think we're spawning in. Yeah, this is like the pre-loading screen. Okay, there we go. Um. Oh, oh my goodness. Bear with me. This is ridiculous. Um. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something along. Oh yeah, so if I can show what I'd like to do first is fly around the map and show the structure of the map, and then I think from there you'll kind of see a rinse and repeat of similar habits come into play. Um, I spent a ton of time in theater before I played like Halo on a competitive scale or went to tournaments, or even while I was doing that, I spent a lot of time in like Halo 3 and Halo 4, just like in the theater mode, Halo Reach as well. And I used to watch my spawns, my other friends, like pro players' spawns, and just what you do in that first few seconds, like really dictates a lot. And to be able to provide you with the information of for you to take this like the goal for me today is to leave droplets of information that you can then take and then utilize yourself. That's like what I'm trying to come off with here, because I've never been somebody who likes to tell somebody what to do down to a T. Like, I will explain the process of why you would want to do these things, but I think it's really important for the player to make the choices to ultimately make their decisions, right? So let's see, camera up. Okay, I can work with this. How do we? I'm just trying to. Oh gosh, moving around is okay. I'm getting it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So this map is called Streets. If you have not played Halo Infinite before, or maybe you haven't, you're just like, I don't know the name. But just basic map structure, you're going to have a team that spawns over here, and then you're going to have a team that spawns inside of C. And real quick, I guess I can't speak to all maps yet because I haven't really seen what they put in. But this is definitely an asymmetrical map. It's not, it's not like if you're an old school Halo player, it's not your midship. It's not that vibe. This is more of a lockout feel if you wanna take it to that extreme. And your strongest area on the map is really going to be here. And the reason why I'm laying this out first is because once you understand where the safety structures are in the game, like how you identify that, you're going to be able to apply this to all the maps. So yeah, I'll do other gameplay reviews, and I'm excited to venture into this because for so long I didn't speak up about this. I was either focused on something else. I spent time at Epic Games as a competitive design analyst and just like working on other things. And now for my life like has taken events where I'm just like, it's like really opened my eyes of how much I just want to be able to give back to the person that's just like a passionate Halo player but hasn't invested like billions of hours into this, and rightfully so. I was probably a little insane as a kid to invest as much as I did, but here we are. So um, okay, that's zoom. Okay, yeah, so first thing, identifiers for like the strong points on the map is when you see these long lines of sight like this that can easily be cut off by an angle. So you've got like into here and you've got down there. And if you'll notice, like this is a really great example. Every time you take one step here, it's going to be, you know what I mean? Like you're out of that line of sight. You can be gone. You could still be there. You can be around the corner. The other player doesn't like anyone else on the other receiving end of this does not really gain information or pressure the second that you step away. This is a long stretch of space to try and cross, and the second that a player dips behind that wall, they could be coming up this way. They could still be there. That option to be in two different areas that, like, after you've disappeared is a really important tool, especially because finally we have a Halo that I feel like is worthy of competing in again. And it's been modernized by adding sprint and some of these other things, but the core is good, and there's no radar, there's no like tracker. If any of you guys have played Destiny before, you'll sorry if it doesn't feel like I'm looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at myself, but I'll probably um yeah, if you guys ever played Destiny, Destiny had a big freaking radar, and it just showed where people were at, and that fucks. Like, sorry, I don't know the age group that's gonna be watching this. Apologize if you have young kids that are watching. I'll try to keep it better. Um, that really messes with rotations on the map. It essentially eliminates flanks to a degree, and especially if you have played Destiny, especially Destiny 1, you understand what I'm talking about. Or you can start to put it together in your mind of why that would do that. It's essentially just a really big training wheel, and it needs to go because you can't, if you put a training wheel on a bike, there's only so sharp that you can turn, so fast that you can turn the corner. It really just like limits the abilities that would naturally occur in the space. And so I'm really glad that we don't have like a radar or a tracker or anything like that, because navigating through areas of this section of the map would just be extremely difficult. Anytime that you're hiding down in these low spots, you would have just been seen, and it basically it kind of like neuters this area from being effective. It also makes other areas like inside of C here, where you have a lot of these sharp drop-offs and little things like that. It makes it like very just it changes the game dynamics and choices that players can make in certain moments. Like if you're on this corner and you go around the corner, you know, they kind of know what you're up to. There's no, it gets rid of any hidden moves or anything like that, which is not great. You want teamwork, communication, and ideally map pressure to be dictating how you're going to be doing things. So for I know I'm spending a lot of time. We haven't even gotten to the gameplay yet. This may be the kind of thing that we watch half of this, and I kind of am already able to show what's going on. And so I just want to spend some time floating around the map first. So anyone who's hung into this point, thank you so much for doing so. I know this, like, for some people, this is like grueling, and they're just like, I can't take this. Other people, they really like this type of content. And so definitely let me know in the comments if you want more stuff like this. I have tons and tons of topics to talk about, and that's kind of like why it's a little difficult to get this going, because this is the first one that I've done, and I have no real foundation built yet of what the community needs to hear or where they're lacking or any of that. So I'm just trying to get a big picture idea first. All right, let's go ahead and jump into first person. Let's see what's going on here on JC6 TTV. I'm excited. I'm going to get rid of this, and I think I just hit space. No, space ain't it. Enter? No. Oh man, if you're hanging out for this, you are in it for the journey, because this is exciting. First person, we're just going to keep it raw like this, I guess.
Lay claim to the zones and defend them.
Okay, I can do that. Can you do that? How do I, what's my pause and play? Screw it. Nah, I need to know how to, it is spacebar. Bro, this theater mode, I can't take it. Okay, we're going back. It was pre-start. We've done the preamble, and now we're just gonna go right into it. On board. JC6. Let's get it. Okay, so right off the start, I already want to pause this just because like this is gonna be. I'm going to get real like technical with just about every little thing, and don't take it as harsh criticism, because I just pick up on a lot of little things, and I might as well hit all the points. First off, if you get a spawn like that and your intention is to go ahead and go to this theater mode is driving me freaking insane. All I was trying to do is hit spacebar to go fly upwards in the camera. Free mode. Okay. Come on. Oh, gosh, I'm really giving it my all here, chat. I may re-record all of this, but I pray I have the energy. This stuff is exhausting to analyze and go over, so I'm trying to go through with it. But if it gets too choppy, I'm just gonna re-record the whole entire thing. Okay, so all I want to say is if you're going to get a start here, always prioritize that high ground positioning. I know it doesn't look like much, but go ahead and clamber up here and then go ahead and get up on here. And what that's going to do is your timing wise is going to be somewhat similar. Like you'd probably be about where you are now, but look at the angle that you have to throw a grenade. So you can slip a grenade right through the middle here, and just go ahead and deny access to the ramp, and that provides your team with an advantage to getting to B immediately. And you only have to do one grenade if you want. I really wouldn't use two if you're really getting coordinated with a team. You use a grenade and a teammate uses a grenade. Like you can get really. That's stuff I'm excited to. I like in team play, like. You can get so nerdy with the way that you assist your teammates and they help you, and the way that you can do less and they can do less, and together you can do more. And that's like kind of one of the coolest factors about all this. But so that's the first thing I'm noticing, and it's going to be kind of hard to. Let's go ahead and where's my mouse? I'm trying so hard not to lose my mind over this theater mode, but. You're worth it to do this for. As someone who's waited 6 years, we're gonna get through this, okay? So no, don't worry. All right, so let's just go ahead and watch from the upper view. He's down here in the blue, in the red, white, and blue. Not too bad. I see the first thing that I'm noticing in the gameplay is instead of playing for the map positioning, it looks like you want to go after the kill, which is you're not you're not far out of line there, because a lot of people have that mentality. That's something that's like they're just like, all right, we got, where are they at? We got to get them. And what you want to shift this into, and if you have buddies that are going to watch this, especially the people that you play with, you want to shift this into a what, where do I want to be standing when when all the chaos breaks out. So, um, I've seen players off the start, like, look, you see this guy, you know. So, um, I'm just I scrolled in once, and it didn't let me scroll out. Like, I'm so triggered right now by the theater mode. Um, Anyways, so all I'm trying to say is, like, this type of positioning, even if you're up here, just slide over, so that you're ready for the next player. It's always being 2-3 steps ahead is like your ideal type of play style mentality to incorporate. Even if you are a player that likes to be aggressive, likes to get stuff done, likes to really take into action, just be ready for the person that's next. And also, like, one of the mentalities that I had carried in my head is, where is the threat from? Where is your life being threatened from in these maps, in these games, in these scenarios? And that's where you need to focus on. And I know that, especially, I have no mouse, especially at the beginning of these games, that can be a little difficult to identify because nothing's happened yet. So that's where, like, map structure comes into play, and then obviously just experience of playing a lot. So one of the biggest reasons you don't want to be all the way out here on the left-hand side like that is because I'm trying to zoom in. Some players will go top C, and if they throw a grenade from top C to where you are in here, just to try to help and support to kind of clear out any of this. Maybe they're thrown into arcade or something. It's just going to leave you in a situation where you're going to have to take steps to the side, to the left or right, or anything. And even if you take any damage from that, or even if you find yourself um, even if you find yourself trying to go for this player and this guy comes up on the steps behind you, all it takes is input from an extra player like that, like one extra shot, to now put you in a position where you're out in the open, you can't go anywhere, and you're kind of stuck taking the death or taking extra damage that may lead your death. This is a really good time to go over one of my favorite things that I've, like, ever discovered in putting these things together, and it comes down to efficiency of use of your steps, because if you take one step to the right here, we're gonna do it with the mouse because this whole thing is driving me nuts. If you take let's say you take one step to the right, and then you realize right after you take that step that you should have gone left. Now, you go 1, 2, 3 steps to get to where you were. To get, like, over here, you'd go 1, then you'd correct yourself, then you go 2 to get back to where you were, then you'd have to go 3 just to get to where you wanted to go. So, instead of 1 step, you're taking 3 steps. And if you can kind of grasp that concept right then and there, you can now take that and apply it to every step you ever take in the game. And why are you taking that step? And should be a reason to it, and it gets really wild, and it also is going to slow your game way down, but that's okay, because it's just about knowing where to stand and where to be there. Ideally, all Halo is just a chessboard, and it's just not a flat, like, chessboard. It's not just a 2D chessboard. Even on chessboards, there are advantages to sitting in certain positions and stuff like that. And that's all this is here, except for you have the input of, like, controlling everything that's going around, and you have to land your shots and stuff like that. So that's one of the attractive parts to playing Halo for me. For so many years has been, I used to play chess as a little kid, and then when I came to play Halo, I was like, this is like evolved chess. It's like modern chess for me, so I've really enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and see what happens here, though. I haven't seen anything. I'm just gonna put a little prediction. I think that guy on the steps is gonna make an impact. Okay, he got caught up. It actually worked out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. This theater mode is a serious nightmare to try and work with. It's like the first thing that when I put the input in, it doesn't do anything, and then when you skip back, I'm like an hour backwards. So I wanna go. Let's just take a look at this perspective. I want to see. I want to show. I want to display this from this angle and just kind of see what this looks like. Even though you're not affected in this, keep in mind that there's the 2v2 incorporation of how you and your teammate are gonna do this. Um, I would a really good rule of thumb. We're staying on board. We're just staying on board. We're gonna stay on first person. I tried to go through as much as I could. It just threw me back there. I didn't click on anything. So yeah, just be careful on the right-hand side there, and that's a good pickup on the kill. The Spectre mode is not accurate on the shots at all. This is, oh man, I want to do a really good review for you. This is really bothering me a lot. It's not even in first person anymore. I don't know if I can do this review right now. I want to do it so badly, but I can't even get a few seconds into the game and flip and do, like, this is really hard. Because anytime I see anything, I'm gonna want to pause it and reanalyze the situation from above so that you can. Do you see that? I can't go back any further. Like, it just keeps taking me to the same thing, and this is the. I'm sorry, dude. This is like not. Can we wait until there's like an update or something? Because this is. I can't work with this. I'd love to be able to work with your games, and maybe we can play some games, but this is just. It's not functioning, you know. Even here, like, this looks weird. I don't believe that was actually what you were aiming at in the moments. Those could be, but it just didn't look right. It was weird. There was no adjustment. It was just a stiff, you know. Okay, so on these kind of this is I'll use this moment as a thing. Please don't be forever. Okay. We're gonna go on board here. I'm gonna utilize this next spawn as something to talk about as a great use of, like, the your steps and how important it is on each step that you take. So we're just gonna watch you come off the respawn here, and I wish I could have a way to slow this down, but I'm just gonna pause it. First off, I would peek my head out that way. You already have a player here. No need to really, like, crowd this space. Even though this player's leaving, take that as a sign of they've done their due diligence and there's nothing there for them right now. Or if you want to come back in here and peek, you can. But the reason why I'm saying the things that I am is because this is the seaside section of the map, and ideally you don't want to hang out much on here. It's very hard to help your teammates in this kind of area. It's a lot of, like, chasing, a lot of extra movement, a lot of your teammate went around a sharp corner and they're battling off in a corner that for you to get to, you have to, like, run through the open, through all these lines of sights to get to. So knowing that, like, this is not an area of the map that you want to hang out long, and if I get the spawn that you just got, I'm most likely just going to go out that door and just, like, look across the B alley, like across this way, and just start to make my push up onto A, because I'm identifying, hey, this is not where we want to be. I'm going ahead and get out of here. Another really good tip. It's not an always thing. It's just like do this often and then find when to work it in, and it'll help. Is on Stronghold, ignore C flag for a large percentage of the game. If you want to regain control and you spawn C, use that time to not capture C and go pressure B or A, because you only need 2 caps to be gaining points, and because of the things I just talked about with the way the map works and stuff, you don't want the C flag, because you saw you can already start to see how strong the structure is here in the maps and stuff. And so by holding B and A, you can keep players pressured into these tight corners where they just can't push you out in a way and clear things up because the first point that I made was how strong these angles are from all the way on the A side of the map. And all it takes is, you can get shots on a player way down range. And then if they start to pressure you, just throw a grenade and back off. And you can keep your health, you can regain your health, you can pop back out. There's a lot of opportunities where this person has to do like a long trek through the open to be able to even progress into a spot that can pressure you. So just a ton of information I've already thrown out, and I really would love to apply visuals to everything I'm saying, but this theater mode is just making it really hard. So that's like my analysis of your first 2 steps of your spawn, and I can do this for every single spawn that you spawn in, and there's a lot. But at a certain point, you're gonna realize it's like a rinse and repeat pattern, and then when you go back into the game, you're gonna kind of like alter your vision of what you're up to and why you're doing it, which is like, that's my end game. That's my end goal of like what I want you guys to do. Let me know in the comments too. Does it bother you? I'm looking at my self-talk so I can see what I look like, but I can try to learn to, you know. um, so if you did, I don't know if you caught it, but if you took the conversation we just had and you looked at the turn that you just made, are you able to piece together why looking back and looking down like this, even though there's a player capping this, is just not worth the thing? I don't even know. I think that's your team. That's your teammate. So this kind of all is starting to come together a little bit. But even if this guy's capping this, just let him do that. Let him do. Your goal in this situation is I need to flip the map. I need to get back into a position of strength. I need to start slaying out from the A side, the A corner. Start to just I would push up on this side here, like I was saying, pressure out this way, and if you have any just like sixth sense of where you think a player is because you've been paying attention to what's going on or listening to callouts, you can chuck a grenade up on that, like out that way if you want. But this is a good time to just sneak on off here and just get the flip, because it's going to be so much more valuable for your team to have a position of strength for the long term than it will be to capture the C flag. Because now that this time that you guys are going to invest to come down here, look, that you even have, this is when it gets really good for you guys, is when you have other players on the other team. First off, that's a rocket player. It just happens to be, I can't zoom out. Okay. But when you have other players on the opponent team that don't really understand the map structure like this, then it's going to extremely work in your favor, because they're wasting time in spots that you don't even care about, and you're just already moving on to the next thing. So it all starts to add up. But you guys stacking back, this is basically what I'm seeing here is a team going in reverse. Is the read. Okay, I'm trying to click play. I just want to help. I just want to help people, bro. Like, okay. So that, like, even that right there, like, I know, from watching your footage, I can definitely tell that you're playing on controller, which is, there's no knocking, like, on that. There's definitely a lot of people that have come from console, and that's what they're comfortable with, that's what they want to play with. I've taken the adventurous route here, and I play on keyboard mouse now, and I've been playing on keyboard mouse since probably like 2014 was when I started doing that, and so I've just got it definitely took a while at the beginning, but I have a ton of tips for anyone that wants to transfer or try it or learn how to do that kind of stuff, and then even more tips for how that works in Halo, because that's like never been seen before. Usually most games on keyboard and mouse have like such a fast kill time, and there's a lot of strafing that goes on in Halo, so I can help you like identify when to use your mouse hand and when to use your keyboard. But that's really just for anyone listening that's like interested in that thought process, because I can break that down too. But yeah, like you just start looking at all these steps. This is fine. This I wouldn't, I don't agree with the soaring off to the side in that moment, but I can't hate on you for it because you haven't yet looked at the map with this perspective. So everything that you're going to be doing is just kind of going to be like a little off or a little to the side, or like, because there's no overarching theme that's been like laid out as this is what we're trying to accomplish and this is what we're going to aim for. So when you do something like that, I can't be upset with you for it or anything like that, but it's just like I just hope that you can start to see how instead of putting yourself down here in this cubby of a corner, you could push on out of this scenario and kind of open up to where there's more space, there's more breathing room, there's more control, there's longer lines of sight, there's better things to do off the start, you know. So you're gonna end up, because now you're very quickly went from spawning in to I have no plays left. And you want to think about every step that you take as an investment, because you just want to be making smart investments, like, you know what I mean? And you've invested yourself into a situation now where you need help. You need help to get out of this situation, and you put yourself there, you know? So yeah. I'm gonna go down there, that's okay. It's not, you know.
We captured Alpha.
And I'm just really glad to be doing this. I think this is really cool. And dude, the coolest thing is this isn't like trying to come out as a brag thing. It's just more of like something that really gives me a lot of joy. Is there have been so many comments over the years of, oh my gosh, Fizzor, you showed me the game in a new light, and now I like am playing so much better, and blah blah blah, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's so thrilling, because there are so many people in this world that have so much potential to be great gamers, and all it takes is like a little bit of this guidance slash realignment of the mental thought process, and really to just be able to zoom out from the excitement, from the thrill that you have while you're playing, and just kind of see the bigger picture of what's going on and all that. So I can do I think one of the most crucial things I can do after this video would be like to break down each map and show the structuring of that, and why you'd want to do that kind of stuff. I have a video on my YouTube channel. It's all my videos I feel like are so cringe to me, but maybe they won't feel that way. Also, yeah, I have another video on my YouTube channel. It's like how to play Destiny without a radar. I have a section playlist or something like educational videos if you want to check in there. And it's from Destiny 2, but here's some fun facts. The developers of Halo and the developers of Destiny are definitely very, very close. During my Destiny 1 days, I got to play with a lot of developers. During Halo 5 launch, I played with the lead developer, multiplayer developer for Halo 5, and a top developer for PvP for Destiny. They were both in my fire team, and that's who I played on Halo 5 launch night with. I think every Halo release I've played with like some really, really cool people. The release of Halo Master Chief Collection, I played in a lobby of Halo 2 custom 8s with like Walshy, Neighbor, Strongside. I don't remember who else was in there, but I think there's a video of it up on YouTube somewhere. But it's just like it's been really neat to be a part of these experiences, and I think it's cool now that I can kind of like spread the knowledge out. But let's just see what goes on here, and let's head forward a little bit. But I think very quickly it's going to be. See, I don't know if that was. It's hard for me to tell if the spectator mode is accurate on the aiming. I think, Jay, if the spectator. Oh, it's so weird. Your name is Jeff, but your in-game thing is Jay. I'm sorry for messing that up. I'm just gonna call you Jeff. Jeff, if the spectator mode is coming up as accurate for your aiming, I think you have a really good chance to just go keyboard mouse, and I can help you become like such a beast at it. Because what I observed in this last section here. Oh gosh. Oh bro, do you see this? This is ridiculous. Dude, I'm clicking here and it's going there. I can't. Oh my. We're just gonna wait. I think this is gonna be a very short video, and I'm gonna try to maybe we'll work more into the future and kind of cultivate this into a series or something like that. Because I'm trying my best to work in this space, but it's just very difficult. But I think the conversations that I've had hopefully have been helpful, and maybe we can find a way to do this. Okay, so. Like if that spectator is accurate, like you really want to be able to make those adjustments there. And if you're unable to do so, then like we also need to do a video to talk about like your controller settings, or if you decided to join me on keyboard mouse, which please don't feel pressured to do that. Um, but if you, I have uploaded some games on YouTube in the last week or so. If you want to see what my gameplay is looking like from that POV, but there was something that I caught right here. I think it's right here. Your aim goes from like very centered to just swooping upwards, and that's one of the things that I just was so sick of with playing on the controller because you have to deal with this acceleration that's built in, and that stuff just is so awkward. It's so finicky. It's so like when you've turned all the way right, you've already done everything that you can do. You can't go any more right. You're just already like clicked in, that's it, that's max. But on a keyboard mouse, you just like whip it around faster if you want to turn around faster or something like that, you know what I mean? So when I see, I think it's right here, you see that swoop just go way up and over. Don't take so much blame for that because that's really just like the acceleration built into the aiming in the game. And I'd be interested to talk to you about like what you're setting. I have not touched the controller in this game at all. When this came out, I knew it was built from the ground up to be a stable PC game, so I just I jumped. But I can try to help you with some stuff because I did spend some time in Halo Master Chief Collection playing on controller, and I'm assuming it's kind of similar, or maybe we can help. But 'cause basically that alone must be causing you so much stress in your game, and it's probably subconsciously dictating the type of fights that you feel comfortable taking and the style that you feel playing. Because if you're not confident on being able to pinpoint where you want it at all times, you can't move any. You know what I mean? You're slow. You're waiting to like till things come into you when there are moments that you want to be aggressive, and it must be very frustrating. So I can see that alone. I bet we can change this, and this is a like a gold ranged rank. I very much believe that we can increase this a lot. I don't know if you're sprinting here or if you're just walking, and that's okay. But as you become more comfortable with the space, off that spawn, I immediately turned, sprinted, got up in the cafe that's going to be up in here behind you, and I'm not, don't beat yourself up for not doing these things. These are things that are coming from someone who's invested so many hours into not only Halo but professional play. So it's just like like one of the things that I was doing when I was working at Epic is I was on it was essentially an in-house pro team of 12 to 13 competitive design analysts. Some of them, they had a wide range of games that we had come from, and they picked like really top players to come and assist the game. And I would spend 8 hours every day playing this game that they were building, and it was essentially like like top level tournaments in a game that was being developed every day, and we would record our footage and then send it over the developers. If it was we'd send it to another department if it was like, hey, my character got stuck in the floor, could you look at this? And then like other people would be the ones that would like try to figure out like how to address that and send that over to the devs. But we were there for the competitive design aspect to make the game as competitive as possible and make it tournament worthy and all that kind of stuff. So that was really neat. Um, and I'm just saying, like I know I have like lived in the realm of if you make one mistake, you're going to be punished for it extremely hard. So that's where a lot of this is coming from, um, and it's fun. But yeah, on this type of a spawn, I would have identified with the fact that you died on the opposite side, and there's a lot of pressure over there right now. You just go ahead and if you want to grab the shotgun, you can too. But on this one, I'd probably skip it just because you know that they're in that B section and you want to try to make an impact on A as fast as possible. So I'd just like turn, sprint, get up in here, and like this would have been my starting thing. So even when you're down here, um, you know what I mean? Like give yourself all the advantages you can possibly get as you move around this map. And I'm sure that the next time you play this, you're going to be looking at it completely differently. So I'll back in. Let's go for it. Um, Again, this is going to come back down to thinking of your gameplay as investments rather than a video game, because you invested your 2 grenades, you invested all your money, you invested everything all in. Were you able to connect with something on it, and now where has it moved you because of your investment that you made? You know what I mean? Like, are you now in a stronger position, or are you in the same exact spot? Did you just spend money at the strip club, or did you go ahead and buy Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Like that kind of. um, and even you see where these grenades are landing off down here in the. They're like over here on the floor. It's kind of hard to see, but it's down in here. This is the kind of thing of why that height and why you need that coverage can apply, because this is a scenario that you've already had to take steps back, and you already know our conversation about the steps. You've had to take steps back, and now you're gonna have to advance forward, and you don't have any grenades to use to your investment, like, or to your push. So just super critical stuff. And then where this ties all the way back around, if you're not confident in your sensitivity and in your settings and your configuration and being able to aim exactly where you want to, when you want to, and how to move how you want to, that explains a lot. It would be like why you haven't just like gotten up in there and made a move. You know what I mean? Because it feels stressful, can feel scary, can feel like those butterflies in your stomach kind of feeling of I don't want to miss, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to make a mistake, you know. And the more that you build confidence with your movement, with your stuff, the better off you're going to be in that feeling. And what I would do, maybe you can do it in another playlist if you want to get into that, but I would just send it in this, or custom games would be ideal if you have an ability to set up custom games. I think that would be, like, if you have a following that can get 8 players together, it would be really cool. I've pretty much, I don't know, mine just fell off the face of the earth, I guess, because I did. I stopped putting out content. I don't blame the people that haven't been around. It's not their fault. You know, life goes on. People do other things. I didn't really like provide something that was drawing somebody in on a daily basis, so it's cool. But I'm just saying, if we could get custom games going or something, I think there would be a lot of growth there, because I want you to be in an environment that you can send it full send and allow yourself to face plant every time and just be like, dang, I messed that up hard, but I learned. And now I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to see if I can do this, and I'm going to see if I can do this, and I can see if it is. And even in ranked, I think that if you do this, know that you may go down in rank, but I really want you to disassociate rank from skill, because rank is just a computerized system that is supposed to tell somebody how good they are. It's not really an identifier of skill, because if you are somebody who plays it safe, you may be able to make it to platinum and stuff, but taking these to go this extra step, you really need to feel confident. You really need to know your limits and the game's limits. And so it's a lot better to just go ahead and hit it hard, learn hard, and then you'll just go ahead and climb up. And that's another thing too, is like, I've gotten to a point where I've played so many games and stuff that I find it difficult sometimes to win a game, because I'm looking at a scenario knowing I should not step in there right now, and I want to work with a teammate, and like some other random players like, I'm going in, and they just get blown up instantly, and now I'm in a 1v2 and I can't capture the hill or something like that. You know what I mean? So win, loss, rank, just get that, step that to the side. That is just like something you will know when you start to feel really good as a player and in your choices that you're making. And so yeah, it's not worth getting hung up on that. And I guess if you're a player that's afraid to make some moves, obviously if it's like 49-49, you know what I mean, like maybe readdress that statement a little bit, but for the most part, just send it. Like, get used to learning what happens and what can happen when you do something. And also, if you're someone that doesn't have like all day to play, or you just don't want to play all day, whatever it is, I think these type of videos are going to be extremely helpful for people, because it's going to just give you the cheat sheet of like, now you know what to look out for, where to spend your time, how to invest your practice, how to get the most out of like an hour or two a day, or whatever it is, an hour or two a week that like you have time to play. And that way you're not feeling like you've just stepped into this space and have no, you know, direction. So
Successful.
here we see you've already found yourself back into a scenario where like you're in this section of the map, and I'm not gonna hound you on this because this game already happened. You didn't hear this input prior, so but it should start to become pretty obvious like what's clicking in here. I also I'm trying to figure out what the score is and who has what, but it looks like they have B and A right now. Yeah, and so this is what like ideal goal here is you want to start. What I would do is I would make this flip, and as you come into this area here, you're gonna try to pressure this, and then instead of going for the hill, you're gonna go for this. This is your elbow area. This is a flag if you played like Destiny or any of that kind of stuff. And through those areas are how you're gonna get these long line of sights, like I've been talking about. But what it's also going to do is the game spawn system knows the strength and weak spots of the map. It's a very intelligent system, and a lot of people do not give it enough credit because they're like, oh, the spawns stink. No, you're just spending a lot of time in the low ground, and the game is like, why are you there? Why are you there? There's no good spots to give anyone space to spawn. Why are you spending time down there? Like so, and then they get mad at the system rather than realizing how the system functions. So, what you want ideally when you come up in this corner like this, you're gonna be opening up spawn points from like here to like up in this, even right behind you or in the cafe. But basically you're gonna be attracting your team to be with you more. So even if it's like a situation that you just want to hang out here for a second and allow the team to spawn in and then make a coordinated push, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time, but it's just like just trying to get the point across. If you want to, once you really start getting comfortable, you're going to push up on this way. I think you ended up spawning here and then going back down this way, and it's just it's very difficult to like. Let's take a look at your other option. Is if you went ahead and had come up this, you know what I mean? Like you've got to look at this angle in front of you. You've got this angle here, this angle here. You have potentially someone could have clambered up on the trash cans right here, and you didn't see it. You have the spam of grenades that come down the ramp and stuff like that. So it's easiest to flip the map by going up this way if it's possible. Another really good tip is don't fight your spawn. Don't like just kind of go with the flow of it, because the spawn system is putting you there for a reason. So take that knowledge instantly and absorb it and realize why you're there, and then you go ahead and make a move off of it. But so what I would ideally look to do in this type of scenario, if you're looking for maximum pressure output, is cap this like a quarter way, and then just go ahead and move, like whether you slide out this way or jump out the window. That's based on that'll be based on experience and how much time you've played in this game, and how and your understanding of where the opponents are and how safe you feel making the moves, because you don't want to get caught mid-air like doing this. But the whole purpose of it is so that you get the enemy team to start thinking that you're capping A, and you're already moving steps ahead of that. So when they come around this corner and look in the nest, you're already hitting them from the side. And then what that also does is you have teammates spawning in behind you that are going to assist your push. So it's like you're creating this snowplow type effect where you're not waiting for anything to happen, you're creating things to happen by being ahead of the gameplay that's going on the map. So I know it's a little bit difficult that I haven't really been able to address your specific stuff, but I'm just trying to work with the theater mode that's here, and I think this is actually going to turn into a really good like first video of just talking like laying the grounds of like the mental space you want to be in when you go for this kind of stuff. Because let's see if we can. I'm gonna try to get back to you, and we'll see if we can get back to the spawn. And I just want you to watch. If you like this, I'm talking moving quick. I'm talking you move, you throw your grenade, you know exactly where it is. You're moving, you're assessing. You see anything? Nobody there? Okay, you're going. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. So this walk here is just kind of chilling, casual. I don't know. Maybe you're taking a sip of coffee or talking to someone in the room. Anything could be possible. Like so, if you were busy during this moment, don't don't take this into criticism. It's just I'm just going off of what I have in front of me and what I see. So we talked about this. You got the grenades. See, you got this guy weak, but how are you going to finish the kill? So that's like, if you want to do that, if you choose to take this angle and whatnot, and there are times you can cut these corners a little bit, but we've already addressed this slightly. Oh, come on, where'd we go? No. Okay. I think we're here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just watch it from this POV for a second. Yeah, so you just want to, even if you find yourself you messed up, you didn't go high ground, that's fine. Make that one grenade and get going. You want to go ahead and get across this. It's like a jump slide type move, and get up in here. And the reason why you don't want to use both grenades is because now you've dug yourself deep into the enemy territory in a sense, and you want to be able to have that grenade to at least get a trade or leave some damage behind or whatever you can do. So yeah, so you just go ahead and make the move, and then you're gonna, this is like a sprint into like slide type play after, like immediate, one grenade, jump, sprint, slide, up and over. And what you're doing in that moment is you're blocking this space right here, so that if a player tries to chase you, you've damaged them and given yourself an advantage. And now when you've got yourself back in this corner here, you you do need to kind of keep moving somewhat quickly, because if you hang out too long, you're gonna have people coming up behind you eventually and get surrounded. But what you're doing is you're actually pulling multiple players' focus to where they are hung up on you. So a lot of the way that you win Halo games is tying the enemy team's time to have two players look at one player. So in this type of a movement here, you go ahead and slide across. This guy that's up here, what's he going to do? He's got nothing. It doesn't make sense for him to drop from the high ground, or even if he did, by the time that he ran across here, you may have already made your move to be here, and like he's just in the court, or you can catch him, and essentially the way this can work is you can come around and you can take out the player that's up here first, and this guy's just left stunned. He has no idea where you went. He has no idea what you did, and you've just eliminated the support by taking out like the front line, and now that causes all kinds of chaos, because this player up here who would have been to look over B flag or whatever, is now you've just taken that out, and now they have the duo that you see, these two. This is why, like, I think my camera's covering it a little bit, but a lot of the game is run in two groups of two. So when you make an impact like that, this is the player that is supporting not only this player but also the other duo. Like, so if you had two members that ran into this group of two, this guy up here is going to be the determining factor to make an input to kind of sway it in the enemy team's favor. So when you make a move of that caliber, you not only have cracked their setup and taken out the most important person, you've given yourself an advantage to, you could like either go back and eliminate this guy, or if it makes sense to, what I like to do, and this is another reason I like keyboard and mouse, because you can do this kind of stuff on the move, is I'm just going to go chase these two. I'm just going to go, poof, I'm going straight behind them. And the reason why you want to do this in this scenario is you guys are down quite a bit of points. I don't know what the score is, but I know that you guys haven't had map control this whole time, and it's only been a minute in, but like, you want to have it for the whole game pretty much. So that's a heavy hit to the opponent. You've come in, you've cracked their setup, and you've now your team is ready to push, and this it's all coming back around. In the very beginning of this video, I said the one of the number one things that Halo Infinite really is just coordinated movement. Halo's always been that way, but especially in Halo Infinite, because the sizing of the maps. So if you make the play that we just discussed, and yeah, I get it, there's a million other ways that this can go down, but if you can just stay on board with this on a theoretical sense, you can start to understand what you're aiming for. But if you make this play and you get in here and you get behind this other group of two that's up here, now when your teammates make this push, guess what? You guys get B like no problem. It's like super easy, and you could leave like a player or two just capping like right here, and this is the kind of thing that you cap it halfway, and then you leave just one player on it, and then somebody already starts leapfrogging forward, and you're going to go ahead and basically flip positions here. You're going to take this high ground away, and then you're going to like, kind of fill out all the way out this way, and you're going to flip the map to where you've suffocated the opponent to where now they have to come up these side steps and these ramps and these things that are difficult pushes. As they're moving up this way, if they choose to, they don't have a way to push their opponent to having no spaces left to move, and that's a really, really key element. Once you start to understand the map pressure and the way that the maps are designed, and how you can make moves to leave your opponents like stuck out in the open or just trapped to where they are out of spaces to move. Like when we in the very beginning, when we saw your spawn and you made that jump and you got into this corner, that's the type of thing you're trying to do to your opponent to where they just are like, oh, I can't move, I'm stuck, I'm out of plays. And it's funny because you did it to yourself, but you're not alone. Like so many people do that without really realizing or thinking what they're doing. Let's see, I don't know, there's a lot of footage left, and I think that we were able to kind of hit the points that are going to be important. I don't know if trying to fight this theater system right now is going to be worth it, but I'm going to stay on board and see what's going on. This is the kind of thing too, since you have access to this file, if you want to at this point, I would just go ahead, like you can re-watch the rest of this if you want to, but I think I've laid the groundwork to where maybe in one of my next videos or something, I can break down the video, like the map setups, and then I think the best way to go about this is to kind of let you play, send me another video, and then see where we're at, you know? Because even the scenario that you just walked into here, there are things that you can do better about it, but grilling in those details is not going to necessarily make you the better player that you're looking for. That's nice. See here, I'd be up in A and just start moving, just start getting the pressure. You got one. Now what? You know what I mean? Like keep the momentum going. It doesn't really look like you're sprinting just anywhere. And this is gonna get you it's gonna get you caught out there. Jeff, we can help you. We can help. You're gonna be a fantastic player by the end of this. I just had a flashback to one of the I went to a Halo 4 tournament and we placed 5th, and the people that we lost to were like really established teams. I went with a team that I created in like under a week, and the person, I was really young at the time. I was like in high school, and there was someone that was like very passionate about Halo, and he owned like a soccer arena, and he paid for he just paid for everything for me. He paid for my flight, my jersey, and everything. And the thing that he got out of that in return, I'm no means like am I trying to correlate the two, it just kind of triggered a memory, was I spent a few hours every night like kind of playing with him, and it was kind of difficult to work with because we were doing it in the game. It's a lot better if someone's like actually wants to hear what I have to say. This guy was just kind of looking for a buddy, so it's like kind of different vibe. But it did remind me of that because he appreciated soaking up the knowledge and having a good time and having a good conversation and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So. Oh. Let's watch this one back. This is a good little. We'll get you some footage of like one of your battles, and even if it's not your greatest battle, and we'll then maybe leave it there because we're already an hour in. This is an hour. This is an hour, dude. But the information's good, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to kind of display. I can't pause it. Oh my goodness. I was trying to stop it, but it didn't give me access to my mouse. Brother. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I'm having a really good time doing this, and I'm enjoying it. So hopefully you enjoy the video. And I have no idea who's going to stick around for an hour of this. My hopes are that the information I'm conveying is translating well enough, even though I'm not able to fly around and do all the things that I want to do and show you what they would be. But just to be nitpicky, I would probably go up here first, because this gives you the it seems really nitpicky, but it's actually like extremely important to at least jump here and then jump here if you want to, because it's going to give you this vantage point to see this fight, and you wouldn't have to take this shotgun to the face. But also, you guys already kind of have A, and it's on the other team's point to, like, it's on them to take it from you. So stepping into A is only putting you in slightly of a softer position than if you just kind of were like, ha, it's on you guys to take it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the high ground. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe you want to hit with that. But what I'd like to do is I want to take a look at your movement as we come into this battle. So we're just gonna do it from this POV for the sake of. So it looks like you identify this guy's here. At that point, I feel like you've sprinted a couple steps too far, and I know that the game moves fast, but it just goes back to our previous conversation of your investments of every second that you're making. You know. So he's just now noticing too. You thought that he noticed you. You thought that he noticed you as fast as you noticed him, but it turns out that he was like a half a second later, and he has a shotgun to utilize, so he's not going to commit to the melee. And I can already tell from your controller setup, sensitivity-wise, whatever it is, there is an element of lack of confidence in being able to land all the shots. So you went for the melee early, because you essentially, a melee is like your last resort. That's like an on the way out, I'm going to take one with me, you know, kind of deal. If you're sending that up front, you're putting yourself in a position to risk all of your shields, because if he melees you back and then some dude like randomly on top C, or even just sliding by, like clips you once, like you're dead. You know what I mean? So you don't want to open up with the melee as much as possible. Even when it gets awkward and close, you want to try to like keep that distance a little bit apart, like this guy just happened to do, and just toy with it. It's going to be better, you know. Throw a crouch in there, like start strafing hella hard, like that looks like it missed. I don't want to risk it, because if we end up 3 minutes like rewound, I'm going to be a little upset. So it looks like that one didn't connect, but like this is a point where you already want to have 2 shots in him, and that's, I know that kind of looks that's like why I'm addressing the sensitivity stuff, is because there's so much damage that's not coming in over the time periods that I'm looking at. Like, this is like, even from the point that you recover from the melee, there's been a window to get 2 to 3 shots in, and you want to capitalize on that, because that completely changes the scenario here. You know what I mean? Even when you get clipped with this, like this, he may be low, and also you want to be able to back into this corner here and still hit the shots to gather distance from the shotgun, but also there's a point, like a breaking point, like right before you got hit here, this player is falling down from the sky, and he needs to decide, is he aiming here or is he aiming there, you know? And if you know how to teeter right on that line of what the other player's choices are, and that's where you're going to mess with the player's head, you know, and do that. I don't know where my mouse come back. So this is a big whiff. It looks like you did utilize that there, you know? So the other thing that's going on here is you're already so far behind in this fight that your options are very limited. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like no matter how hard you strafe here, it's not up to you whether you survive. You can try to throw in something good, but like all it takes is this person to be relatively, like, if they're in like the semi-pro pro area, they're just going to hit the shot and move on, you know? Yeah. My biggest assessment there is just the sensitivity thing. Looks like it's just taking a lot of your damage away. Like, there's a lot of time. You know. This is good. It didn't look too bad, but okay. This I could be okay with. You know, you're utilizing this. look at where your crosshair is right now versus the angle that you're walking into, though. And this is something to be like if any of you guys have played Counter Strike or Valorant or any of that kind of stuff, these kind of things come into it a lot because you're dead in like under half a second. So you really want to be aware of your crosshair placement as you come around on each one of these angles. And as you start to incorporate that, you might then realize what's going on in sensitivity side of things. Because if that feels uncomfortable, then that's where you're gonna start to want to address the issue. Almost essentially think of the map and think of everything you do without the enemy team's involvement is essentially non-existent. You want to lay the framework down to all of your choices are just making sense based on the angles on the map, the strength on the map, and what objectives need to be done on the map. Like that's kind of more. This is a lot. You may have wanted to take notes during this. I don't know, but the best part is that you can watch it as many times as you want. So. Because this is a scenario. This player right here should already have taken 2 shots, at least. Like you could have chipped him up so hard. Like this whole situation has already been altered because of that. If you hit this player hard enough that he has to back down, you could even like jiggle peek, like just strafe in there, 1, 2, grenade, and then you've covered this kill. So you're gonna get if he tries to step back out and try and assist his team any further, you're gonna be getting a kill for that, and now you've eliminated some of the pressure, and now you can focus on this. And then you do the same thing here. You just chip yourself away, and you be mindful of how much of your body is exposed, because obviously that matters too. So if you want to go ahead and let's just look in the. You may not even be able to realize how far out you are. You know what I mean? Like this space is where you're gonna die, because when the situation hits the fan, where are you gonna go? And if they've already got you in a situation where you need to run, then this is enough to get the kill at certain times, you know? So the other option now, like you're already so far out here now that it makes more sense to go this way. And that's there hasn't been enough damage applied for that to really make much sense of a play. Even though this player is weak, it's still just going to leave you in a spot where this guy can just chip you up like pretty hard, and all it takes is a grenade from that dude or some random, you know what I mean? It's just you may not even necessarily die from the sequences that I'm explaining from, but they're going to take away your advantage from applying more pressure, or the pressure that you would like to be applying is going to have to be put on pause, you know, until you get your shields back. And that has a spiral effect to now more pressure is being put onto your teammates because of these small things, you know. So pretty good though. You didn't take up much damage, and you're just going to stay alive here. I just noticed that there's a radar on. This must be an arena match or something. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the replay system. That's a nice nade though. That's a good kill. And then it's just the in the open. It doesn't look like you're sprinting. Yeah, hit that sprint and get on out of here, you know. Sprint slide into this corner and just get the safety. And it just is going to come back around to utilizing the map and knowing how the map is manipulated and used and all that kind of stuff, because that's going to get you, like, the second that you identify that you're here and you know the timing and the shots too, like 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4, like that how much damage is going to be coming in, you'll then make a little bit wiser of a choice. What the heck? I think we're good. I think that I'm gonna rewatch this from. Yeah, here we go. So I just want to watch your. Is this different? I don't know what. It's actually not too bad. it's just that more than anything. You know, all the other stuff was really small, finite details, but they do add up a lot. So the second that happens, the second that you're the second this is, you know, just don't even try to stay in the open and strafe it. Just turn and utilize the sprint. You can even jump to cover your head with this, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to do something different. So like, even if you just like jumped, and then like crouched in the air and like just changed where your whole body was going to be, that would help get you into these type of locations, or jump slide, or just straight slide and use the plants and stuff. So I think I'm going to stop there. Maybe I'll keep going, but we're already an hour, 10 minutes, and 7 seconds in, and I would like to revisit this after having a chance to talk with Jeff, and then also allowing him to watch this and see what the gameplay changes to be. That's just kind of where I'm sitting at with right now. So to just bring it all back home, the thing that I identified right away was you looking for kills rather than looking for positioning on the map. And so you could even see it right here on this spawn. Hopefully we can, we're back out here to this. That picks up a nice kill there. We're going to go down, and then we're going to go ahead and onto this next spawn. And I want you just to go ahead and look. You probably already saw it, but just look at your initiative. Like, first, I'll probably go up the high ground. We've already talked about this. Let's just get to, you know. So you're coming in here, and can you see how much time there's no damage output coming in? Like, that's like a really important factor of what's happening. And the reason why I don't feel like we need to go through the rest of the video is because what's occurring on each spawn is going to be a very repetitive cycle of things. It's the mixture of something going on with the controller, or just the sensitivity, or something there where you're just a lot of downtime, a lot of time where you're not getting bullets out shooting or getting any damage in when you have a player on your screen. And then the next one is right here, chasing, or even hanging out, or even spending any time worrying about what that guy is doing, because in the grand scheme of where you are, it's the equivalent of sitting bottom center in just the openness of everything that's going on. So just let that guy go. He's not really that important. It's special, and I can totally understand how you're not as a player, and this isn't just you, it's just anyone who doesn't know why the maps are built the way they are and how they work. You would never be able to identify that. You would never know that this guy's not worth my time right now, and I'm, you know what I mean? So the faster that I can kind of help assist with the way that the maps function, then I think that will be like a huge step in a lot of players' gameplay, because they'll just like, they'll realize really fast. They might go through and make the mistakes, but they now have the tools to counter correct and or just to correct them. And if I can get my mouse back, you know. So if we look at what occurred, this was the spawn that you got, and you didn't spend. I don't think that's you up there. I hit some other random button, but oh, actually that is you, right? No, that's not you. I don't know where we went. I have no idea where we are now. Whatever. You knew, basically you spawned here. Yeah, you spawned in this corner, and it's, you know, what did you do on your spawn? You came out this way. You chased this guy that was like going back down there, and then when he went back there, you came back around here. And so if you add up all the time, here it is. If you add up all the time of what you're doing, it's not equating to any more map output pressure, and it's chasing after, how do I get to this guy? You know, meanwhile the clock is ticking and there's hill time going on. So hopefully this review is helpful. Please let me know in the comments if there's like stuff that needs further analysis, or things that can help assist things. Thanks for sticking in. If you watched this whole entire video, this is an hour and 15 minutes now, an hour and 14. But I tried. It was really hard to do with the theater system. This won't be the last time that I do this. If anyone watching would like this type of stuff, or has specific questions, please let me know. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Jeff, I had a really great time looking at your gameplay for a little bit, and I'd love to look at more of it. I think that I left you with some good things, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any personal questions as well. But I feel like I left you with enough here to toy with, and I think the thing that you're probably wondering right now is, okay, that's great. This is the map streets, but what do I do on the other maps? So um, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like the next videos that I do, I'll just try to break down some of the more maps, and we'll just go through it one by one, and that's kind of all I can do right now. And maybe I'll just get a little bit more comfortable with this theater system. I was hoping that they released an update, like to kind of do like theater system 2.0, because this is just not very. It works, but it's really not a great experience to flip around and do all this stuff. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Uh, all of my links and how to get in touch with me. My Twitter is @Fizzor, and my stream is now on a website called Theta. They are a technology company that utilizes cryptocurrency and like their own crypto. And they have Katy Perry is releasing an NFT on their network, and some pretty cool stuff. So if you want to check, if you want to meet me over there, you can. Also, just one quick thing too. I have there's if you go into the info section of this stream, or this video, there's a thing for a company called Chalk. They do organic herbs, like supplements, like a combination of like 7 different mushrooms into a blend, something that you can take. And I have a promo code with them that helps support me if you are looking for that kind of thing or have any questions about it. I've taken their products for 2 years or so. It's absolutely changed my body, my mind, my health, and I highly recommend them. I reached out to them and asked for this to work with them because of how well I really like how much I like their product. I don't work with anyone that I don't like to work with, and and so if you're just interested in that kind of thing, I think 20% of whatever you spend, I get paid back to, and I have a discount code for like 50% off. So it's a pretty good deal. But just like, that's just like housekeeping type stuff, like just to throw out there. By all means, don't feel obligated to do any of those things. I just wanted to leave you with some avenues to be able to find me or look into my content in other ways. All right. Thanks for watching. And I don't know what's next, but I'll see you whenever the next video comes up or whatever we do next. I had a great time with this one, though. And you guys got to spend, to the people that are watching this that have been old school Halo fans, you got to spend an hour and 17 minutes with me. And what a better way than to spend 117. So, alright. See ya.